frustrated. Sorry for leaving you hanging on the last episode with that. But yes, we lost on penalties to Real Madrid. You've got to say it's progress in the Champions League, though, isn't it? So we move on, and this is the state of play. We are in the semi-finals of the TATO de Portugal. And if you look at the league, we are absolutely flying. We're 7 clear now. We've only 6 games left, so surely that's in the bag, right? So in that penalty shootout, Vargas missed one of the penalties, and he is only young, bless his heart. He's only 20, our Brazilian, but look at the progress on that. I put this picture without his profile on Twitter, and everyone was like, wait a minute, and that is what you call progress. You can see his progress chart from when he joined. Now, there's a few ups and downs, but that's natural when you're dealing with such a young player, but the escalation here is the key point, because now, as he gets older, more experienced, he's absolutely flying. Current value is 51 million to 57 million. I wouldn't even take 100 million at this point. He is a game breaker. And the good news is he does not have a release clause, although he's on pretty poxy wages, so I'll expect his agent to come ringing soon. How did we get him? I've permanently got someone stationed in Brazil now, along with Argentina and a few other places, but I'm always checking the Brazil one to see what comes up. So a lot of things are rosy about this club at the minute. From when we started to now, it's fantastic. The one thing I'd say we haven't got going is our youth team. I don't think we've had one player that's come through, not one, and that's pathetic, especially the amount of money we put into the facilities. And if you look here at the staff, so there's the under-19 squad, below average, but look at the staff here, and this is something I'm going to focus on, I think. This is the coaching team comparison compared to everybody else in the league. I mean, it's not bad, but it could be better. So looking at these coaches down this side, I'm going to have a good look at them, probably in the off-season, and I'm going to get the axe out, and I'm going to focus on getting some quality coaches in to try and see if that will help. I've done it again, you see. I've gone again to the board and asked for an improvement to the youth facilities, and they've agreed. So this is going to take us to superb facilities at a cost of 5 million. And at the same time, I asked for training facilities upgraded as well. So every box is getting ticked here. In the semi-finals of the TATO de Portugal, the trophy we are looking to hold on to, it was pretty comfy stuff against Boa Vista. Into the final 3-0. João Pedro scored again in that one. He's now wanted by 12 clubs. And there you see them, ranging from Leipzig, Madrid, right through to Villa, Dortmund, PSG. Ay, ay, ay. Our form in the league has been quite frankly ridiculous. Ridiculous. They have been so good this season. There's also been a bit of a resurgence for Kim Min. He's been at the club quite a while, but are we finally seeing his potential? Again, wanted by a raft of clubs, but he scored 8 goals in his last 5 matches with an average rating of 8.52. This great run in the league, we've won game after game after game, meant that if we beat Estoril at home, we would be champions again. So great stuff. We have won the league. That's 2 out of the last 3 seasons. We are firmly established now as one of the big boys in Portuguese football. We've got the TATO de Portugal final coming up. Now look at that tab there. Can you see it? This has completely thrown me. FIFA Club World Cup draw today. What? So what's confused me is not only the time of year it's at, apparently it's the end of the season in June, which is bizarre, but also, why am I in it? Because we didn't win anything last year European-wise. Here are the teams above my head that appear to be qualified for this. Benfica have got in there as well. Brazilian team, Saudi. I mean, it is very much a Club World Cup. My question to you, if anybody knows, is this the new format that's brought in? And why is it now that we're in it and not prior when we won the league and the Europa Conference League? I am very confused about this. Anyway, we've done the draw and we're in Group A with Arsenal, Junior of Colombia and Monterrey from Mexico. You can see the amount of teams that are in it. It's very, very vast. I'm very confused, but quite cool. So that was the domestic double in the bag, which is great. And then we ran into the FIFA Club World Cup, which was randomly in June. We started pretty well. In the group stages, we were really good. We got a draw against Arsenal. And the other 2 games we won. So we finished top of Group A. This meant we drew Milan. It goes into a straight knockout. And to be perfectly honest, Milan absolutely battered us. It was the end of a long season. And you can see Bamba there who took the corner. Right winger, he's about 33. I had no players for the left-hand side, so he had to play a left wing-back, which didn't really help. We did draw it up level, but Milan were too good. They ended up battering us. And once they took the lead from here, there was no way back. So my question to you guys is, the Club World Cup at the end of the season, is that a thing from this point in the game? So that was season 14 wrapped. We add to our league titles and our Taça de Portugal, and we also add to the fact that I'm now a club legend, and rightly so, I think so, don't you? So it's time for season 15, and for season 15 we're going to have to find a viable alternative to this tactic to play away from home in the Champions League, because that is our big stumbling block. We're also going to have a very busy pre-season dealing with all these wanted players. We do need to stay true to the save, however. So we are ticking off these achievements really well. Now, the become bigger than Porto is up in the air. Domestically, yes, but people will say I need to win a Champions League to double underline that. So we'll see on that one. But the net transfer profit of £1 billion, if people come in for these players that are good bids that would be considered in real life, we must take them. It's for this reason that I'm going to get ready for it by creating some recruitment focuses. So I'm all ready to go in the transfer market, and then this happened. Now, this is my staff transfer out. Can you see this? Barcelona have stolen Gundogan. They paid 1.5 million for him. They've appointed him as a coach. He was my assistant manager, so we've lost our assistant manager, Ilkay. So it's time to use that as an opportunity to refresh the staff. In came Enzo Maresca, one of Pep Guardiola's students. He's a coach. Yann Viers came in as well. I've also brought in Marcel Sabitzer. And don't forget, we've still got Jorginho in there as our head of youth development. Robin van Persie. We've got some decent coaches here. New assistant manager was Pep Linders. If you have a look at his attributes, he is wildly, wildly good. So he should make a bit of a difference. We've now got a 20-man coaching staff, and in the league, we are the best in Portugal by a mile. We've also added to the recruitment team, and we are the best in the league in that. So this was a busy period for staffing, and this is the most time I've took on this as well. If you look at the under-19 staff, I've upgraded that. We are now the best in the league for coaching. Even Medical's the best, but we're the best coaching team in the league for the under-19s as I try to get at least one decent player this year. After a manic pre-season, the Super Cup got underway. After 90 minutes, we were tied with our biggest new rivals for Malacio, but our penalty shootout heartache continued and we lost the Super Cup. Okay, fast forward a little bit, and it has been a very interesting time this summer, that's all I'll say. I don't even know where to start. So you remember those recruitment focuses we set up? You'll notice the transfer window is now closed because it has been pretty hectic. Transfers out 172 million. It's a record time. The first man out the door was Dylan, our goalkeeper. He's gone to Real Madrid. 72 million upfront, rising to 86 million. Remember, we bought Dylan for 1.6 million. Real Madrid had not finished yet. Vlad the Destroyer. They triggered his release clause. 80 million. Bought for 2.4 million. Sold for 80. Alongside that, a few fringe players left, meaning the 172 million. Now, we replaced them with 42.5 million worth of talent. Rodrigo goes, but I like to have somebody who's got a bit of experience. I brought in Gabriel Martinelli on a free transfer. Juan Lucas has came in from Barcelona on loan for the season. We might sign him. He looks like a bit of an upgrade. I plan to play him in central midfield. Now, the rest of these guys are all youth players, and you can see the South American influence. Let's have a look at them. Gabriel Santos is a winger. I bought him because I expect Trapovsky to leave at some point. He's very, very good. He's a wonder kid, 19 years old. 4.5 million from Hajduk Split. Anal Rodas. Now, he could play either centre-back, but I'm going to play him at inverted full-back, and he could be the replacement for Pozo, who continues to attract attention. 3.2 million signing. Possibly the pick of the bunch, Gonzalo Irusta. He's an Argentinian. He's only 18. He's 6'4". His attributes are fantastic. The scouts did a worldie here. 6.5 million. Jonathan Duarte is the replacement for Dylan in goals. Now, he's only 18, so we're taking a risk, but that's what we did with Dylan. I like him. 6.5 million. How about Leo Zeno? 19-year-old. I plan to play him as an attacking midfielder. Great attributes, but the little hidden one there, 6'6", 90 kilograms. What a player. He's like an absolute unit, but he's got beautiful, beautiful technical ability as well. Keep an eye on him. He's our club record, 17 million, but I think he'll be worth it. That meant we spent 42.5 million. Brought in 172, spent 42. I guess it could be that time, as requested. The calculator is back, so we'll stick in 1 billion. Here we go. That's 10. That's right, isn't it? Is that right? So if we go to my overview, I have spent 124, so we'll add that on, 124 million. See, I'm being fair. I could have took that off, so it made it look better. That's 124 million, right? Which means Overall, we are 1,100,000,000, etc., etc. Now, we have raised 457 million. So we're going to take that off. 457 million going in. I think that's right. Is that right? Oh. Take two. Let's try that again. So we'll take 457 million. This is hard. I mean, how often do you have to think about these figures in daily life? That's right. So we'll take that off. And that leaves us with 667 million to go. I mean, that's the best it's looked. That's the best I can say. I forgot one player. This is George Aurier-Angel, and the reason I forgot about him is I bought him last season and loaned him back out to his team for 3.1 million. But he is also another centre-back. So I am well covered. They're all just really young, so it's a risk. And the sheer amount of new players that we've got coming in means that it's going to take a while to get them used to each other. So the flow this season hasn't quite been there yet. It hasn't quite been there. And you can see that by the fixtures there. It's all a bit stop and start, stop and start. The Champions League's been a bit hit and miss. We've won our home games, but we got battered by Leipzig. We've got a draw against Dortmund, so that's good. But Porto drew against us. We're definitely not flowing as well. And I'm putting that down to all the new players and the fact that all of them are young. Super young. It's my youngest team I've ever had now. And that leads me to a big question. So if you're watching this entire episode, thank you very much. And this is the big question. Are you ready? We've been doing this save for 3 months now. We've rose from the absolute pits of Portuguese football down, down, down. And now we're up here. Probably the best team in Portugal over the last 4 or 5 seasons. We've got a beautiful new stadium. The facilities are beautiful. Is this the last season? Is this the last go at it? Normally when I do a save, 15 years is probably my limit. We're at 15 seasons now, I think. Is this the end? I think I know what I'm going to do, but I'd like to hear your thoughts down in the comments. It's been a great ride either way. Do we carry on till we win the Champions League? Or do we finish this season out and say, Ta-ra to Salgueiros and go on to our next journey?